That and what he used to do, he used to reach out.
Oh yeah.
And grab people's hands, and then he'd walk down the middle. Anyway, he said, "Well, anyone lend me a hand?" He stuck his hand out, grabbed like a hand, and was walking down. Everyone looked horrified, and some woman who had like a plastic hand, it had come off. And he was walking down the middle of like Dominion Theatre with this plastic hand in his hand. And he said, "Oh, that's a moment I won't forget."
He knows how to tell a story, Leo Sayer.
Right, well it's time for White Van Man, which is where we ask Carl the questions that the Sun asks someone else.
Exactly.
It's an article in there where they ask them, took them around the street, the big questions of the day, gives them their platform to the nation, and we think this is just too good to let out, because we only care about one person's opinion in the country now.
That's true enough, it's the came out, and there he is.
There he is, right.
Carl, your thoughts please on Kylie Minogue slagging off Britney Spears for ignoring her fans at her premiere. Are you aware of that story?
No.
She got booed at her premiere of her new film, Britney, because she'd left her fans waiting for like an hour. Some of them had travelled up from Bristol, other parts of the country.
3,000 of them.
Loads of them screaming for her. She just went straight into the theatre an hour late, just gave them a quick wave and straight in. Didn't even bother to shake their hands, sign any autographs. So they were booing.
What do you think of that, Carl?
And Kylie's obviously said that was actually outrageous, and you should treat your fans with respect. What do you make of it?
So she did wave.
Yeah, but literally as she was walking into the theatre.
Was it raining?
No, I don't think it was.
He's like a defence lawyer.
Yeah.
Who hasn't really read the brief.
He's just winging it.
Judge's first joke, was it raining? No? Oh shit, I was relying on that.
Was she running late for the start of the film?
Yes, but that's her own fault. I mean, the people are inside, they're not going to start the film without her. It's Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She could take some time out. You know, when Tom Cruise came here, he spent like an hour and a half shaking people's hands, talking to people on their mobile phones, all sorts. That's Tom Cruise. He's a bigger name than Britney.
I know, but
he's a smaller person, but he's a bigger name.
What do people want from people? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
An autograph, things like that, a photo.
This one's going nowhere, Steve. Is there another one?
Fair enough.
It's not bad. If she had more time, she might have done it. I bet she would have done it on another day. I mean, I'm not feeling too good today.
But you're going to still take time out to sign people's autographs, surely, when you leave the building.
Yeah, there's always a bit of a crowd, isn't there?
Next.
Go on.
What do you make of New York's ex-police chief saying we need more bobbies on the beat? He's come over here, he's the guy that sorted out crime in New York City. He's come over here, he said, you're going all over the place here. You need more bobbies on the beat.
There was something last week about some copper in London who was sat on a bench, and he was asleep or something.
Okay.
And people were like outraged because like he should be looking after England's people, not nodding off on a park bench, which is a bit daft because
they were shouting he should be looking after England's people. Was this the 16th century you went back to? What do you mean he should be looking after England's people?
Wherever he was, if he was in like a park somewhere, they were like really annoyed because he was asleep. But
sure. He's probably undercover.
No, but the thing is, if there would have been any trouble, I'm sure he would have woke up.
Yeah.
If there was any if someone needed help and he screamed, he would have woke up. So I don't know why they were having a go at him.
Yeah. And he might not have been there at all. So it was he probably have his radio turned on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Listening to Heart.
So you're not concerned then that there's not the crime's going up?
I think there's enough. I see quite a lot of them whizzing around.
Okay. You're happy then?
Yeah.
As long as you're happy, Carl.
So you don't think it's too much crime? No. Just the right amount of crime.
Yeah.
What about the fact that new gambling laws give Blackpool the green light to become a British Las Vegas? What do you make of that? Are you a gambler?
Little bit when I go on holiday, like going in the arcade and having a little flutter.
Sure.
What's your favourite?
I have a go on the fruit machines.
Yeah.
There's a good one called The Simpsons.
Right.
Is that your favourite?
Yeah, it's quite good.
Is that a tie-in with the TV show The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will they make Blackpool the next Vegas? I don't think so.
No, not
see it happening.
No. You been to Blackpool?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's a bit rank.
Is it?
It is a bit rough. Needs a lot of work doing on it.
Yeah.
No, that won't happen.
Okay. And you're not worried about this encouraging gambling generally? Gambling's not a vice you're concerned about.
If you're a gambler, you're a gambler. Do you know what I mean? If Blackpool isn't done up, they'll go somewhere else to have a flutter.
Sure.
So it's not going to make any difference.
Okay.
No.
Okay, it's really good. What do you make of the So Solid crew's Ashley Walters being jailed for 18 months? Obviously not a very good example to his young fans.
He should have got more.
Do you think?
I had a dream about him the other night.
Go on.
About the group itself.
Okay.
I had a dream that...
Were they all there? Because there's a
Yeah,
lot of them.
all of
I
them.
couldn't remember all their faces. The feature in a dream.
I had a t-shirt on.
He had etc.
Exactly,
He had
yeah.
two, and then he had etc. Yeah.
I had a t-shirt on.
You had a t-shirt on?
Yeah, and it said on my t-shirt, "So solid poo." And I was walking down the street, and they came towards me. And they were just about to beat me off.
That's a
and I woke up.
great dream.
That's amazing.
That's an amazing
I love that.
dream
We've
for
all
a
had
30-year-old.
We've all had that anxiety dream. Oh my goodness! What if I meet the So Solid crew and I'm wearing a
God.
t-shirt that slags them off?
Oh, I don't believe it. Yeah, yeah.
So what happened? Did you get beaten up in the
It was
dream?
one of them where I woke up. Do you know I've been telling you that I keep getting them things where you feel like you're falling?
Oh yeah.
It was the same sort of thing. It's
You
like,
know I'm not a real psychiatrist, don't you? You should, you know
No,
what I
but
mean?
you do know a lot about a lot.
Yeah, I do. Thanks very much.
And, you know, if I'm at home talking to Suzanne about something and I don't know the answer, I think, right, I'll ask Ricky that one
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But you know that I think you might have mentioned before that apparently if you die in a dream, it means that you're dying in real life.
Yeah, well, that's it. If you don't...
But apparently, if you get beaten up by the So Solid crew in a dream, it means you're being beaten up by them in real life.
Yeah, that is true.
You probably woke
a
up
lot
with
of people have
in your
been joking. Yeah.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
So, yeah, lock him up for longer.
Okay. Finally, what do you make of Halle Berry becoming the first black woman to win the Best Actress Oscar? Did you see her speech?
Got on my nerves.
Did it?
I mean, you know, it's good that she won. You know, it's nice for anyone to win an award.
Yeah.
But she did go on a bit. And, you know, I've been in that same sort of position.
What? Placing an Oscar?
Well, I got, what they used to do at school is,
Okay.
if you did a full month without being off, you got a gold certificate.
Okay.
And I did a month once without having a day off. And
Sure.
I went up, and I didn't do it, make a fuss.
You didn't start crying.
Can't play record, mate.
Well done, though. Were you the first kid in your school to do that?
I don't think anyone else got the certificate. It was only because I was never in. They tried to encourage me. To make
It was just for you. They mounted an entire ceremony just to encourage you.
Wise words there from Bella Sebastian on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Well, I mean, it is indeed wise words, Rick. I'm worried that people are going to get out of the office now and into the sunshine, not be listening to the show.
There's always the transistor radio.
That's true enough. If you're heading down to the park, take it along.
It is time.
Keep it low, though. Don't want to irritate other people.
I know, yeah. And if you do want to irritate him, spit on him, it's better.
Exactly.
And kick them and throw little rocks.
Exactly.
With me, Carl Cayman Pilkington. We're into this way into the second month of the education of Carl. As you know, Carl got 1 GCSE in history and E, and we've been cramming, haven't we?
Oh, Rick, before you mention that, can I
on.
just say something? Obviously we always do this thing with the Sun, White Van Man, where we read this thing from the Sun and query Carl. And we met with some friends last night, and my friend Dan always listens to the show, and he said, Carl, I love the bit when you answer the questions in the Sun. Why do you ever know what the questions are before they're asked, or is that your first answer? And Carl said, no, that is it. They don't let me see what the questions are first. They don't show them to me, and I always get really anxious and get really paranoid. And I was just wondering, have you seen the error there, Carl? Have you seen the mistake you've been making? Right? You're worried that you didn't get the questions beforehand, right?
What? How could you
maybe combat that, do you think?
How could you combat that if you're really nervous? Coming
Maybe
out
you
to
wanted
vote?
to sort of have some views or ideas beforehand.
It's your error, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's your show. If you want to take a chance with me.
No.
that's
His
not
point
the
is
point.
this: that if you're really worried about it, how could you get hold of those questions in advance? Is there any way you could get hold of those questions in advance?
Yeah, but is it always in today's? Is it always in Saturdays?
Yes,
So they don't do that every day of the week?
they do, but I always take it from this Saturday.
Right, well, yeah, I could, but that would cost me money. I'm not on enough as it is
Sure.
working here on a Saturday.
Okay,
How much is the Sun?
30p.
Yeah, well,
You're not made of money. I understand.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 40p on a Saturday. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, you were studying Aesop's fables, weren't you, this week? Now, I'm going to be very liberal here and let you talk about it. It's not a test. I'm not, hey man, just like chill out. I'm not this like rigid sort of, box in society. Just tell us your views. Just tell us your vibe on Aesop. Tell us something. What have you learned from these fables?
he made a bit of money out of something that's quite simple.
I don't know if he did make any money out of it. I mean, I think it was published like thousands of years after his death. But go on.
Yeah, they're just little stories. I mean, enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Didn't learn anything from them.
Or did you? You see, because it's teaching through sort of like metaphor and analogy, and maybe it all seeps in and it's all subliminal, and maybe in a way your
but it's
subconscious is
silly.
teaching you.
No, it's silly, Rick, it is silly.
If the stories were done in like a real way, that there's like a man and a woman, and it's a little story that something happened to them in life, then you learn something. But it's all about, you know, a gorilla and a fox are walking through the woods. How often does that happen?
Sure. So you're saying if it was more like
If it was more true to life.
If it was more like,
maybe,
if it was
maybe
more
make
like
of yours.
real stories, like, you know, a kid on his grifter and a magpie pecking at his head, or two frog boys with webbed hands. I mean, if it was real stories from real life
that people could believe actually happened,
maybe, you know, it would teach us something.
But why not do that? Like, take a real situation, say like the So Solid Crew guy,
yes,
going down for carrying a gun. Use that in some way. Do you know what I mean?
as a warning, maybe about carrying guns.
What about something like, if you carry guns and that is illegal, you could have some sort of punishment?
Yeah, that's
Good.
So,
Yeah, that's what
It
you
doesn't
mean,
bother
yeah.
you then that the fact that these fables have been used for many, many generations to educate maybe young children or even older people, the fact that they've served a brilliant function and they've become classics, that doesn't bother you? You've seen through them?
well, they don't always work.
Okay.
When I was out with Rick the other day, he brought one up.
Oh, I told him the one about the two mice, the industrious mouse who, throughout the summer, he would be storing berries, nuts and berries, and he'd be storing it, and the other mice would just be eating off the trees and running around and having a laugh, and they go, well, you're going to become hungry. They go, oh, I'll worry about that when it comes to it, and they'd do that, and he'd be storing his nuts and berries, and autumn came, and the mouse was still playing and not doing anything, and then winter came, and the silly mouse was like shivering, and he went and knocked on the mouse's door, and went, I'm freezing and I'm starving, and the clever mouse said, well, I told you, didn't I? You know, you should have been storing your nuts through winter like I did. Come in and share mine. You know. And, what did you say, Carl?
Well, and the moral of that is whatever.
Yeah, you know, sort of, you know, just be careful. But my thing is that it's not very good, because the moral of that is do what you want, and there's always a do-gooder, a chair there. So, yeah.
But the way I think, which is more sort of 2002, the ending should have been, you know, the guy with all the berries should have been no, I'll be alright come the winter. I've got loads of food, I'll be safe. But then, as he's going into his little hut at the beginning of the winter, some sort of bus or something comes and kills him.
Right.
And it's like,
You should have partied hard, because you might die.
yeah, enjoy life whilst you've got it.
Yeah. Okay, and if winter comes, just starve to death.
Well, you know, worry about tomorrow.
Okay.
That's
See,
my
I'm wondering
fable.
if there's a new book here. I really am wondering if there's a Carl's Fables.
He's been coming out with some all week. He keeps going, well, that's a fable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's your favourite fable in there? Have you learned anything from this book? You know, is there one fable you liked?
Yeah, I mean,
What did you like?
they're all alright.
What did you like?
You're throwing it on me now, there.
Didn't you like one about a crab, you said?
No, that was the one about messing about on a cliff edge or something. Don't
What-
mess about on a cliff edge. Well,
What was that?
I don't know. There's not many around here, so I didn't take much interest in that one. You know what I mean?
God.
Um,
I'm doing my best here. I'm
You don't
dying.
remember
yeah,
any?
here's one.
Go
Yeah,
on.
here's one that was quite nice. There was a belly, you know, like your stomach.
Yeah.
And it's this belly on a pair of legs, and the legs was saying, "I'm more important than you because I carry you around." And the belly said, "Yeah, but you know, if it weren't for me holding all this food, you wouldn't have the energy to walk around."
Yeah.
And that means, like, you know, rather than working on your own, it's best to work in a team.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the one similar to that I was taught when I was little was a vision of heaven and hell, and it went down to hell, and in hell, right, there was these people had like 20-foot long chopsticks,
yeah.
and they were getting their food, and they couldn't get the chopsticks into the food and get it round to their mouth because they were just too long.
Right.
Right, and that was how. And in heaven, they had exactly the same thing, but they were feeding each other.
What? Right.
You don't like Chinese food? Is that what you're Is that what your concern is, Carl?
No, I'm just.
Well, see, the one I remember, I can't remember the ending. It's about two nuns in a bath.
Yeah, oh, I know.
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that
it.
one?
Yeah.
Or are they on a bike?
That's two adventures. It's the same nuns, but they go to all sorts of adventures.
They're normally quite erotic adventures.
Well,
aren't
they are. But there was one when they're driving down a cobbled street. I remember.
Oh, go on.
And then there's the other. Then of course they get. Whalebones on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
Hello
and
there.
Carl. Well, Carl, I really don't think you got your teeth into the fables. Really, I don't think you.
There wasn't anything to learn. I read a couple, thought, yeah, that's alright, and put it down again. There wasn't anything to learn. It was all stuff I knew already. But made up with nice little foxes and bears and stuff. So.
Yeah. But that one about, like, that one we spoke about, like, when the hares are going, we should share all our food, and the lion said, that's a good argument, but it hasn't got the teeth and claws that we've got. That's lovely, because it's sort of like, you know, that's an indictment on sort of, you know, you could say it's an anti-equality almost. You know, you could get really sort of deep into that. You know what I mean? You could. No.
Big
All right.
philosophical ideas in a nutshell. Not interesting.
No, not really.
Okay.
Okay then, well, you're going to hate this then. I've brought in the concise Oxford Dictionary of Quotations. Now, just look at some of your favourites. Wilde, or Newton, or Churchill, or
You're a big fan of
Keats.
Churchill.
Yeah,
like
oh
his
well,
art.
he's the boy. Yeah, look, right, okay, let's go through that old Kramer, blah, blah. Newton, right, right, here's a famous one, okay? This is Isaac Newton. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants.
Do you like that one?
So there's a meaning in it.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't actually stood on the shoulders of
So
giants.
remember, he's an amazing inventor and mathematician, and he discovered the incredible laws of the universe, and he's saying, yeah, okay.
If you want a good view, move into a multi-story.
He's saying, right? He's saying, if I have seen further than the people, and he's being modest here, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants to get that view.
If it weren't for all the people that have come before him with their great insight and knowledge, he wouldn't have seen what he's seen.
He's taken his, isn't it? Those people have given
Why
him
just
a.
say that? Instead of making up, that's what I've got a problem with. People don't say what they mean.
Poetry, art, and
In life, though, people never say what they actually mean, and you know, there's loads of books on it. I don't know.
But the point is that he's just summarised quite a tricky idea, beautifully.
It's
in a sentence.
beautiful. That gets into you much deeper than just the words, than just the literal words. You know what I mean?
One of my favourites is from an American novelist, and the quote is talking about the subject of fame and being famous. Fame is a mask that eats into the face. Don't you think that's amazing?
Meaning.
Well, meaning that fame is something that is artificial, that you wear initially, you become famous, but it's ethereal, it's nothing, it's intangible, it's just an artifice. But if you stay famous long enough, you begin to think that mask you're wearing is really your real face, so that you begin to, you know, think that you are more than you perhaps are. Do you see what I mean? In the way that fame and power can corrupt.
Oh, who said that?
You know, it's an American novelist, I forget his name.
Oh, that's alright. Yeah, there's something in that.
Yeah.
Pick another one. Right.
Yeah, let's have a look. Bernard Shaw, he's no slouch.
I think maybe when you take this book of quotations home, Carl, you should maybe just draw up maybe a list of 3 or 4 of your favourites and tell them next week.
I want to do Shaw, Wilde, I look at Shakespeare as well, you know, he's...
What, you a fan of Shakespeare?
No.
Go on, what's your problem with it?
Just the way they speak. I can't follow it.
Yeah.
Do you like West Side Story?
It's really old as well. I can't relate to it. It's like years and years ago, isn't it? That's why I like Churchill. Because
1940s.
yeah. Not long
Look at
ago.
this. This is Shaw, okay? There are 2 tragedies in life. One is not to get your heart's desire, the other is to get it.
Again, how would you see that in your little?
Right, that's one homework then. I'll mark that. That's your homework. You got to work that out. You've got to tell me what you think of it.
Say again.
Don't ask Suzanne. It's there. Right. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is not to get your heart's desire. The other is to get it. Okay? Take that home with you, and we'll be hearing Carl come up with some amazing quotations next week.
Yeah, pick out your favourites.
Now I'd like to play a song for the lovers while he's thinking.
No, I don't think we've got the lovers lined up.
Oh, what have we got?
Bit of hip hop. It's hip hop hooray.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, everyone's a big fan. I played something from this last week. It's this new album from Nerd, In Search Of. It's been re-recorded by the lads, I don't know why. And anyway, it's particularly good. We played last week, Things Are Getting Better. This is the one we have played with in the past, actually. Bobby James.
Doves, there goes the fear on XFM 104.9. Well, just read that book anyway. Can I just say, this is one of a beautiful, is Keats, right? When What do you think of this? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness.
See, this is just like how it was at school now. The last couple of weeks I've been quite interested in what you've been giving me. Now it's really like,
Okay.
I really don't care.
Now what about this? Now
I'm not
I did
interested.
philosophy, and philosophy is obviously the quest for knowledge. And it's look. Listen to this though. This is what Keats came out with. Philosophy will clip an angel's wings. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Don't be constrained by what's dream a little. You know what I mean? Just